Hey there everyone, Hitesh here, back again with another video, and I wanted to have a few cards for my upcoming application, and instead of designing them alone, I thought let's make a video and walk you through the process of whenever I want to design anything. And I am a new learner in the design part. I am following a few great books and few authors as well as some of the online influencer people as well. Influencer, terrible word again. But yes, I have been following a few people as well. Now, this helped me to design more cool things as well as I'm understanding the design perspective much more, which I think is an essential part if you are like one-man army or are also a programmer. So let's go ahead, and I need 2 or 3 cards for the category section in my application, which is about to come. I'll make a separate video for that. But right now, let me walk you through with the process of this design. Now, in the previous time, I used to just walk into the design and just create a card, an artboard in Adobe XD, and should start working like that. Now, I don't do that because that's a terrible, terrible thing. So first and foremost, what was recommended to me was just go ahead onto the websites like this one or maybe others as well. I'll recommend a couple of them. But I found that Dribble actually works really nicely for me. There is another one website, Behance, and let me just try to show you that as well. So come on, internet needs to be slowed down at this moment. That's terrible, terrible. There is one other website, Behance. Once my internet is ready to just let me work, I will walk you through with that, but we don't need much of the internet. So Behance is the one, and another one is Dribble. I seen that Dribble works nicely for me as compared to the Behance or Pinterest. I just work here. So instead of just going directly into the Adobe XD and start working on that, I come up here and look around for a few things, maybe inspiration or maybe color scheme or something. It's really nice community here. And in fact, I'm planning that some of my work I will try to upload and contribute in the community. Like here in this logo by Vladim Karazan. I butchered the name. We can see that there are a couple of nice colors being used. Really fantastic color scheme. I use some kind of these tinge of the colors in the cards. And I was looking around for a little bit downside here, and I did notice this is a web application. I guess this is from Sayam Ahmed, Team Iron Sketch. Okay, so there we go. We can see that there are a few nice bordered corners, a circular shape, some of the circles with the change of tone in the colors. Pretty nice one. So I definitely can use this one. Like, this is for website, but I can incorporate some of these features and themes and inspiration in my cards as well. So let's go ahead and try to design card. I need 3 of them for the category section. Let me quickly check what are the categories that we are having in this one. So iOS and Android are the one you would like to design it here. So there we go. And my internet started to work. So there is another one, Behance, in case you are interested of that. It also gives you a lot of things like design inspiration, UI, and all of them. I happen to like Dribble much more. And again, I'm just starting out here. So there we go. We can just move this along, and let me fire up Adobe XD. So we're going to go File and New for Adobe XD. And I'm going to go for custom size. Where are you? Come on, let me bring you up here. Okay. So there we go. So this is our custom size stuff here. And to what size I want to design my card. I think the YouTube thumbnail size is going to do it justice. So let's just go ahead like that. And it's actually 1280 by 720. So just write that. And there we go. We have got nice big board. Okay, nice and easy. Now what I like to do is I don't like to directly work on my artboard. Instead, I create additional layer and try to work on that. It's again preference that however you want to have it. And there we go. So this is what we are having. I just always like to keep it wide, but I like to remove the border around it. So there we go. Now it's kind of a little bit strange habit that it doesn't really make a difference. Even if I go into the artboard and I just select or just make it invisible, but it sometimes makes a big difference when you want to give some background subtleties to these things. So just again, a little bit fun. Now I want this artboard as to be base layer. It's a debatable question that whether you want a corner radius or not. I love corner radius. So a little bit 10 is fine for us. Okay, I know it is not much visible, so let's just change the fill color here. And again, I want to go into the purple shade here. So what we can do is we're going to go for fill. And let's go for linear gradient. Okay, terrible. And I would like to go for a little bit from here to onto the darker side here, so that's why I like to go that. In fact, I like to move it a little bit out of the artboard so that we have like little bit shades coming up just. Okay, so colors, I do have a list of colors that I wanted to use. I have already picked them up from the Behance. Not from Behance, actually Dribble. I will make a separate video of the color choices and some of the colors that I happen to like that often. So this is the purple shade, and its name is hash 50, I'm not able to see, 50582. Okay, or does it be? I need to zoom that here. So it is 5005B2. Come on, I need to check my eyesight. Okay. Okay, and on to the lower part of this, just select this one, and we want to go for the lower part this time, this one. So just select, and the color I'm choosing up is a little bit darker shade. Again, 55B2. Okay, I think that's the same color. So we need to just lower down this one a little bit. So I'm gonna just select for this part, and I'm gonna just change the lightness a little bit there. Not much, but a little bit. So we are now at 722 FCB. Again, since you are designing it, it's totally dependent on you what kind of color scheme you're choosing. But one thing is definitely sure, that by working on these design part, my color scheme is now far more better. I'm going to go a little bit more corner radius, like 15 is fine for me. Okay, that is nice. And I want to keep it absolutely simple and short. So now I'm going to go at the corner one, and I want to get a little bit of circles because I was inspired by circular themes. So I'm going to press E for ellipse, hold down your shift key, and we're going to go and draw a circle. And I'm going to press V to select that, and I want just like that. Okay, that is nice. I want the circle to be just peeking a little bit. Okay, just like that. Definitely we are going to change the color, so we're going to remove the border. I don't like much of the borders here. And we're going to go for like purplish tone again. So let me just go and walk you through with a couple of tones. And again, this is like very, very rarely visible. So we want to put up a little bit of the shadow here so that it's actually visible. It's very subtle, but we want to just have it. And for the shadows, I want to decrease the Y. Okay, just like that, so that it peeks out a little bit. So -6, I think, is nice. It is there, it is visible, but it's not bothering anybody. It's just super subtle. And let's do a Command D to duplicate that. And we are going to increase, oops. Just duplicate that, and we are going to press Shift, and we are going to increase the size. And I want this one to be below this one. So just go into the layers panel and just change that. Okay. And I'm going to go for like a little bit this one. But I want to keep the center of both the circles to be same. Okay, that is what I want. Okay, and still I want to increase the size just like that. Okay, I can select both of them, this one and this one. And I can press this and this to make it absolutely center. Okay, pretty nice. And we can actually change the color of this bottom one a little bit. So let's just pick that up. And again, I forgot to mention the colors here. So the first color that we are having is 6A1DC9. And the second one that we are picking up here is 5F0ECC. Really hard to find these names as well. I'm going to press Command D again, and I'm going to just increase the size. I'm going to press Alt this time, and I want to increase Alt and Shift actually, and I want to increase that size so that it stays at the center, but still gets a bigger size. I'm going to just bring that up, and oops, I need to press Command Z because I want to just move it below. There we go, nice and amazing, kind of a nice subtle feeling. It doesn't really bother much, but this one needs to be like bigger one. So I'm going to press Alt and Shift, and I want to move it a really big one. Okay, there we go. This one also needs to be bigger, so Alt and Shift, and we're going to go for big. Okay, nice and subtle. This needs to have a little bit lower down shadow, so I'm going to just remove the opacity a little bit. I want very subtle shadows here. Also for this one, a little bit lower shadows. Okay, this looks very clean and nice card that we are having. Pretty cool. And we can even change the color manually here. So we can go on to a little bit lighter zone here. And there we go. Nice and easy, just merging around. Pretty cool. That is an absolute amazing, very subtle card. Okay, now we need to give a little bit elements to it. So we're going to just press E to give it an ellipse, circle instead. And we are going to remove the fill of it. We're going to bump up the border to maybe 10. Yeah, 10 is nice. I want a little bit more, maybe 12. Okay, and definitely we are going to change the border color this time. So I want a little bit of the pinkish theme this time. So the color I'm going to be picking up is CC26B9. And there we go. So this is the one we are having. And we're going to have another one. So we're going to press Option. I think this should be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to press V, select that, hold down my Shift key, and there we go. Okay, looks nice. Now press down your Option key. And we are going to go for another circle here, and definitely need to change the color. Bluish tone is going to look fine on this one. Let's try that out. I have a blue color, which is a 1E87cc. Okay, looks pretty okay. It can be a little bit shiny. This color is like, I can see that this is looking nice, which is 329EE5. Again, colors are totally your choice. Okay, that is nice. And we can write heading here or here. We have a lot of space, but we want to just fill it up with a couple of more elements here and there. I'm going to press L to get a line. I'm going to hold down Shift key and get a straight line. And the size of the line should be like 10. Yep. And that is nice. But instead of the line, because line have these like too much of the straight. So I'm going to press, just delete that. I'm going to instead get a rectangle, just like that. Because the reason for having a rectangle is because I can have like cornered borders. Probably if I get 10, it looks like totally rounded. Maybe 20 is going to look absolutely rounded. So there we go. I can zoom it. There we go. And I want to remove this border. I want to get a fill of the exact same pink. There we go. Okay, let's zoom out that. Press V, oops, Command Z. Press V key to select that. Okay, nice. But what we can else do is, let's zoom it there, and I can just add more points into that. Okay, so we can make it a little bit like, oops, that's not exactly what I want to have it. Okay, I think it's not good. So let's go for line. This happens in the design too much often what you think for. Sometimes we just need to go and change out a few stuff here. I'm going to go for like 10. Not 10 is too much. We're going to go for 5. And we are going to go for color again. What I really wanted to have a concept is, press V key. And I wanted to have more corner points onto this one, like this. And I wanted to have like this one, but a little bit smaller one. Okay. Okay, nice and easy. And now what we can do is shrink it a little bit. You know what? It's looking terrible. Terrible. So we're going to just delete that, and we're going to get a star actually. So I can use the icons 8 my. And this happens in the design. This is real world design. Okay, so we're going to look for a star. Okay. And looks like my internet is having a terrible, terrible day. So in the meantime, it loads up all the things. We can actually make a duplicate of this one so that we can have it. I'm going to press Command D to duplicate this artboard so that we have 2 of these. Okay, and now what I want to do is add a text of iOS and Android. First, let's start with the Android. So text, and we're going to go for Android. And press escape. I'm going to just bump it up a little bit. Obviously, the color that goes up with nicely is Android. And, oops, Command Z. Escape. Okay, that looks nice, but we need a little bit bold. So, not Helvetica New. I'm going to go for Avenir next, which is a nice font. I like it too much. And we're going to go for bold. No, bold is terrible. We're going to go for medium. Yeah, medium is nice. And we definitely can bump it up a little bit because it's a category heading. And there we go. It looks nice, and we can have all these icons and everything just here so that it doesn't look like things are totally empty. But this is a nice way of having them. Okay, let's see what's our icon 8 is doing. Where is our icon 8? Okay, looks like it's not here. Where did it went up? Ah, there we go. And we can have a star here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just drag and drop a star. You definitely can create one. Oops, Command Z. I need a star. So I'm going to just drag and drop one in the empty space. There we go. And we are going to bring that now on the artboard. There we go. And we are going to just fill it up with white. Yep, white is also nice. Not bad. And I'm gonna just keep it at with 1 star because I think that's contrasting like pretty nicely. Okay. And I think that is gonna work. Now that's just a basic pure card that I wanted to have. Okay, pretty nice. Very nice stuff. We have just played with the colors with a minimal design. Now let's go ahead and play with another one, which is another one. And what I really want to do is delete this because I want to have different patterns on the cards. We're going to get rid of that and that too. We're going to play with the colors a little bit. So let's just change the color tone quite a lot. And this time we're going to go for like, oops, Command Z. I don't want to do that. Okay, let's remove this one and let's play with the color scheme this time. Okay, so select this one, goes up here, I guess a little bit like there. Just play with the shadows and gradient. Okay, moving further, what we can do is change the color scheme. So I'm going to select the top one first. Select the color that I'm looking forward is a darker shade of blue, which is 3C64C9. And I'm going to select another one for the darker one, and I'm going to go a little bit light on the shade. And there we go. We can actually move that a little bit up. Okay, there we go. So this is the nice shade that we wanted to have. Now we are going to do, let's move this artboard a little bit there. Okay. Now I want to have different design patterns here. So first and foremost, I'm going to go for circles. So E, and this time I'm not looking for the absolute perfect circle. I'm going to just go like this. And in fact, I'm going to press V to have more of these like shapes instead of having, or rather just move a bit up here. So this is what we are having. Again, we are going to go for a gradient here. So linear gradient. And I'm going to go for from lighter to darker at the bottom. Oops. Darker at the bottom. So let's go for the lighter one first and foremost. So we're going to again choose a tone of even lighter blue, turquoise kind of a stuff. And on the bottom one, we are going to choose a little bit shade of blue. And it looks like we do have an additional point. So let's just go and remove that. And we don't need this one. Or actually, we can remove this one and now we can just fix it. So we're going to select this one and just go ahead and get a blue. So there we go. Nice one pattern here. I need another one, so I'm going to press E for ellipse. And this one is going to go like this big, or maybe even this big. I'm going to just press V. And we are going to go a little bit onto these arrows. Okay, there we go. And I would like to push this path a little bit back. Remove the border. Change the fill color in the blue tone again. Again, you can just pause the video and notify these blue tone 4642C9. And not the solid gradient actually. We're going to go from here to here. So that one is okay, fine. And for the bottom one, I want to go a little bit onto the blue side again. There we go. Nice and easy pattern. And we're going to give a little bit contrast to this with a pink tone. So we're going to go for E. And there we go. Press V to get it like that. Now let's go ahead and just double click and turn it like that. And we are going to go a little bit there. And just changing a few shapes so that it looks nice. Okay. There we go. And these blobs are actually pretty fun to design. I'm going to just increase that a little bit. Okay, remove the border and we're going to add a little bit tinge of pinkish color there. So we're going to pick the color from, we're going to start with the purple, which is 7A3AC1. And on the top side, we are going to go on to a lighter pink, like perfect pink. There we go, which is B9 3D AD. So there we go. We do have now, we can actually change this shape a little bit so that it looks a little bit nice. We can move it up here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, much better. It looks like a dripping thing. Okay, so there we go. Nice and easy one. We're going to add a few more things from, we're going to borrow a few elements. So we're going to just copy this one. There we go. And this time we're going to have a few patterns of star. So we're going to have an option of star and we're going to get it like that. I'll just place it a couple of them here or there. So they just add a couple of nice pattern. There we go. Nice and easy. Now we're going to add a text onto this one. So text. And this is for iOS category. Press escape. We need a big one here because this is the only thing that's going to be on the card. Probably too much big. We're going to go for just 200. I think 200 is fine. Okay, and we're going to now add a symmetry to this one. So this one goes up here for the iOS. This card goes up here. This one is 157. So we're going to go for 157. Although we can go 157 for this one also. Like keep the symmetry always there. But you know what? The thing is that when you have just one item here instead of comparing a full word here, these are two different guys. So there we go. Let's have this one. Okay, nice looking cards that we wanted to have. Now, one thing more we want to do is add, this one has a cornered radius. This one is not having a cornered radius. So on the rectangle, yeah, this one has a corner radius. Okay. So I think that's nice. We can just try and export this one. See how does that look. So we're going to just press Command E to export that. I want to export that on desktop. Export that, please. And let's see how does that look. And yep, that looks absolutely awesome. An amazing card that we have designed in just 22 minutes. So there we go. Just explore the dribble, and within just playing with the colors, with the minimalistic design, you can design a lot of it. So that was your 22-minute videos about designing the stuff, creating the stuff, and deleting the stuff. I hope you have enjoyed. I know these are not perfectly designed videos for designing these kinds of basic stuff, but hey, I'm also on the learning phase.